Hello friends and potential friends. Jack here from the Geeky Gardens. Once again on the wrong side of the camera. Now, anybody that's been hanging around my channel for any length of time, if you happen to watch my videos to the end, you know I often leave little Easter eggs at the end of my videos. And today's no exception. I've done videos in the past talking about some of the challenges of trying to garden here in Central Florida, talking about our seasons, talking about how I grow most of my vegetables during the winter, which really irritates some of my northern friends to an extent, though I don't do it for irritation. I just want to share a little bit of green with them from time to time when they're up to their ears in snow, especially Josh at the City-Stead. It's kind of fun bantering back and forth with him. He lives up in Michigan, which I can identify with because I was born in Michigan. I like to tell people it took until I was 3 years old to convince the family to move south. I started out as a Yankee and found out that's a curable disease. Now I'm a Southerner, been here in Florida for 60 some years. For now I have to deal with what I've got here. Today is March 5th, 2020, and it looks like it's summer. Last week was winter. As you can see, I've got a weather station out in my backyard right next to my garden. I've been keeping some records. You see here on, what was that, February 28th, just about a week ago, it was winter. Went down to 38 degrees that night, 39 degrees. Some of my records back in, January. That was the coldest part of our winter. Went down to 35 degrees one night. Probably stayed there for all of 5 minutes, but it was long enough to register on my weather station, so it counts. But today, and for the last 3 days, we've been into the 80s every day. There's my weather station. As you can see, it's currently, about 2 o'clock. 89.1 degrees outside. Pretty close to the lowest humidity I've seen in ages, only 54%. Let's take a look at the records. So far today, we've maxed out at 90.1 degrees. It was 97% humidity probably late last night, and that's really more like what we're used to around here. As you can see, the UV index has reached as high as 9, which my weather station calls very high. We've had a little bit of a breeze. The highest gust was around 8.3. And for the minimums for today, we went as low as 52% humidity. And right about midnight last night, the temperature was 69.8. The numbers you see on the top line, that's inside. In fact, right now it's 81.7 degrees here where I'm at. I put a shirt on to make this video because I really didn't want to scare everybody off. But to be honest with you, I'm sitting here sweating. And as soon as I turn the cameras off, the shirt's coming off too. So basically, last week was winter. This week is summer. I'm not sure where spring fell in that, and I hope this is not a sign of what's to come, because if it's this hot, the first week of March, July and August are going to be brutal. So anyway, this is my Easter egg for the day. Anybody that makes it this far, you can see the trials and tribulations that I go through trying to garden in Central Florida. I have a rather dry humor. I imagine most people don't catch the sarcasm in that, but to be honest, as soon as I shut off this camera, I'm going to go outside and pick a tomato that's ripened. Planted it in October, it's finally ripened up, and I'm going to get my first tomato out of the garden. So anyway, just a little bit of fun for the end of the video, and I'll see you on the next one.